Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava Batra, page 38. A, top of the page, the words Moskif, Le Rava. Rava objects to this ruling that the buyer of the tree acquires the land beneath it, and let the seller say to him, I sold you only the saffron crocus, a small plant normally uprooted by the buyer and taken with him. Therefore, uproot the saffron crocus and go. Rather, Rava said this ruling is stated with regard to one who comes to court with a specific claim that the seller had stipulated that he would acquire the land. Without this specific claim, he does not acquire the land beneath the tree. Mar Kashisha, the son of Rav Chizda, said to Rav Ashi, and if, in fact, the seller sold him the saffron crocus, what was there for the seller to do to prevent the buyer from claiming the land beneath the tree? As the buyer could claim that there had been an explicit stipulation that he receive it. Rav Ashi answered he should have protested during the first 3 years and publicized that the land was not included in the sale. The assumption that lodging a protest would be effective must be correct, since if you do not say so, then in the case of these mortgages, according to the custom in Surah, a city in Babylonia, the debtor will not have any way to prevent the creditor from keeping his land, as in mortgages of that type. It is written like this: at the completion of these years, this land will be released to its prior owner, without any need for the prior owner to give money. If the creditor were to hide the mortgage document in his possession and say this land is purchased and that is why it is in my possession, here is it also the case that he would be deemed credible. That cannot be, as is it reasonable that the sages would institute a matter such as this type of arrangement, that the people can be led to it to suffer a loss? Rather, in the case of the mortgage, the debtor should have protested, and not by protesting. By not protesting, he causes his own loss. Here too, in the case of the tree, the owner should have protested. New Mishnah. Shlosh Aratzos L'Chazaka. Yehuda ve'Ever Hayardin ve'Hagalil. The Mishnah says there are 3 independent lands in Eretz Yisrael with regard to establishing presumptive ownership: Judea and Transjordan, and the Galilee. If the prior owner of the field was in Judea, and another took possession of his field in the Galilee, or if he was in the Galilee, and another took possession of his field in Judea, the possessor does not establish presumptive ownership until the one possessing the field will be with the prior owner in one province. Yehuda says the sages said that establishing presumptive ownership requires 3 years only in order that if the owner will be in Spain and another possesses his field for a year, people will go and inform the owner by the end of the next year, and the owner will come back in the following year and take the possessor to court. Okay, the Gemara says, that was the Mishnah. Now the Gemara says, what does the first Tana hold in ruling that the prior owner and the field need to be in the same province in order for the possessor to establish presumptive ownership, if he holds that a protest that is lodged not in the presence of the one possessing the field is valid to protest, even if the vase where one is in Judea and where one is in Galilee, the protest should be valid as well if he holds that a protest lodged not in their presence and not a valid protest, even in the case where one is in Judea and the other one is in Judea, the protest should not be valid as well. Rabbi Abba Bar Mabel says that Rav says, actually the Tana holds that a protest lodged not in his presence is a valid protest, and the sages taught our Mishnah with regard to a period of crisis when travel is perilous and information cannot be transmitted between Judea and Galilee. Therefore, although no word of a protest was received, the possessor does not establish presumptive ownership of the field. The Gemara asks, but if it is due only to the exigent circumstances, though the word of the priest does not reach the one possessing the field. What is different about Yehuda and Galilee that the Tana cited, ostensibly, even within one of the three lands, if travel and communications are restricted, the same halacha would apply. The Gemara answers the Tana by citing specifically a case where each one is located in a different land, teaches us this.